Hey, what is up, everyone? It's me again, Gamerlush. Another episode of Final Fantasy Impressions. Guys, as you know, yesterday the live producer letter came out, number 8. Unfortunately, yes, I am a day behind. I apologize. It came out a little early in the morning for me. I am a late night worker. I don't get off of work till around 2 or so I'm not getting up around 12ish. But I did catch some of it. I put the snooze on my alarm clock. Sorry. Guys, you know what time it is. Raise your glasses. Cheers. Alright, we're going to go over basically giving you the gist of the question, the answer, and my opinion on it. Let's start with basically the first couple of questions are, when's the beta coming out? When is the early release coming out? Is my data transferable? Guys, get ready. Set your clocks, your watches, your phones, oops, I'm gonna drop your phone. Your dibs, your doodads, or thingamabobs to the 16th if you have registered for the beta and have played the beta 3. If you didn't get invited to the beta 3, but you still registered anyway or signed up for the beta, you will get an invite. Check your emails, check your emails, check your emails, check your emails. If you did not sign up and it was too late and the beta sign up was closed, they will reopen it on the 17th. Meaning, the only thing meaning is you just missed a day. No big deal. It's only going from the 16th to the 19th. So yeah, it's only 4 days long, and you'll miss a day out. Not too bad, but seeing and considering you can still get into it the last minute, no problem, guys. You just missed a day. No, not too big of a deal. Okay. With that said, they're having a lot of things open for Beta 4. I will be going over them later on in the questions here. Then, once the beta is done, you have to... Come on, man. I need it. You go through withdrawals. I need it. Why? Why you cut me off, man? Only for a week. Only for a week. The early access will start on the 24th and go all the way to the 27th, the official launch date. I'm predicting they'll probably have a server reset through all the servers. You know, get a fresh start when the game pops up. It'll probably only be like an hour or so. So you're not missing probably too much. And so yeah. So when you start on open beta, act like it's going to be your character from now on, because you will be saving your data over from that character onto the early access to the launch of the game. Barring from a super bad glitch that breaks the system altogether, like someone was able to find how to dupe weapons or something like that, or dupe gold, and then it's like, okay, we need to stop that. Let's go ahead and reset everything and try to implement it to fix it and roll back characters. That's probably the only reason why you probably wouldn't be able to get your character. Guys, PlayStation 3, you guys will be able to take screenshots. Once I figure that out, I will let you guys know. But by then, he didn't give it too much information. I'm pretty sure he did in the video, but unfortunately, I missed the first half. I'm sorry, guys. It's just how cookie crumbles. I guess that's where I could. Whatever. First, I could say. All right. Arcanist, of course, like you said, will be available for Phase 4. Let's see here. One of the things he goes on later talking about what they're testing. It's a beta, guys. They're not. It's on a long drawn out beta demo. It's a beta for them to test out, see what's wrong with the game so they can fix it. Hopefully they have enough time within that week to actually check it out, fix it, put patches in, and get them ready for the early access. He's going to be checking out the housing, see how the stress test works on the housing. This will be outside of Limsa Lominsa, around the La Nocia. Basically the beginning area outside of Limsa Lominsa. And he'll be checking out how latency works, or basically how data transfer between two characters is distances for PvP. PvP is not balanced. It's not balanced. They basically kept all the skills that you have you can use in this arena area called the Wolf's Den. This basically was in the place where the meteor crashed in the CG area. So once you get there, I bet you can register or jump in and kind of just PvP for 4-man teams and 8-man teams. But there's no PvP skills in the game. There's no PvP armor, and there's no, I believe, PvP specific items that, armor, gear, or whatever. Armor, gear, the same thing. What? Anyway, he's just gonna be checking to see how characters will interact with each other and like how good the data transfers from server to server. And so stay with your group, and try to find your own kind of unbalanced ways to take out groups. Guys, like I said, don't get frustrated. And to tell you the truth, people who are just getting it and don't have legacy characters can't chest it out anyway. I'm going to try to see if my character, if she can get to that area and test out PvPing, but I'm going to probably get stomped by a bunch of level 50s anyway, so I will try to get that for you guys. If not, I'm sorry, I'll just move on and just cover the stuff that you in beginning area, because the beta 4 phase will only let you go up to level 20 at this time. So people who are planning on making the big rush to level 50 for that weekend, or stacking up on Mountain Dew and Doritos or whatever, because I know I am, and trying to race to 50, it's impossible. You can't do it. Only to level 20, guys. Sorry. So flesh out your main. Heck, try to level up every class up to 20 if you wanted to, I guess, in that short amount of time if you want. That's pretty much it, guys. So then now they'll be talking. They asked a lot of the questions about the Arcanist, Summoner, and Scholar. A lot of updated. Now, guys, I wasn't really true about how it being a slow week. The benchmark was data mined for a lot of the skills that were coming up. Some good, some bad. A lot I really don't have a degree with. Grant, this is benchmark data mined, so it's not necessarily going to be in the game 100% sure. I'm going to be making another episode going over these changes of the Arcanist, Summoner, and Scholar, so please stay tuned. I'll hopefully release it this weekend. It talks about how the attributes be shared through the Arcanist, so meaning that if the Arcanist were to go all the way mine and wanted to expect their Arcanist to be healing, can they change their Summoner and change the stats from them? No, because Summoners will rely on intelligence, where Scholars will rely on mind. So, unfortunately, with your Arcanist skills set the way they are, and once they're set, they're going to be like that once you change your class into a job. So, let's say your Arcanist has more mind. Once you change it to a Summoner, it won't change those stats. So you're basically a Summoner with low intelligence, so their spells won't hit as much. This is going to be a conflict of interest, because basically oh man, I can't jump between these two classes whenever I want because my stats will be not coincide. There will be a way to change your stats though in the game, but it's just not going to be very easy to do. I'll be going into that more in detail once I make a Summoner, the Arcanist video. Okay, now the AGs, the Summonizes, the watered down version of the summons. You'll get Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan. Only 3. Or are they planning on putting any more? Guessing probably not until the next expansion. So that's another kind of disappointment, is only having 3 AGs. Maybe around 4 to 5 later, maybe, because the AGs are replacing Carbuncle, where a Scholar or the Fairy will replace Carbuncle in that place. Okay. Different roles, they go basically keep on going to different talks about how the Scholar. I will go over how the Scholar will play and how the Summoner will play over in another video. I will do a Redux video. Alright, will there be any additional payments? Okay, now guys, for people who don't have credit cards and don't want to put their information on the internet or have a fear about doing that through their account, you guys do have an option to go to your local retailer and buying Square Enix time cards. Heck, it's been a while since I stepped into a GameStop. They might have them now. I doubt it, but they'll probably release them maybe the same week of the launch of the game, or 2 weeks afterwards. So guys, don't worry. You don't need a credit card. Head down to your local Best Buy, Target, GameStop, Wally World, whatever, and pick up a card there. Cash, whatever. Alright, there, basically, that was a question and concern they had. Do they plan on having world transfer servers? Yes, but not at the launch. They'll at least wait to 2 to 3 weeks, which is cool. So let's say you found someone on some forums you want to really play with, and you're not really finding any cool people to play with. Come to Excalibur. That's where I'll be playing. And you want to transfer servers. Yeah, cool. It's going to cost you, but that's pretty much bog standard for a lot of MMOs out there. Basically, they'll ask you to pay a certain amount, usually around like $5 or so to transfer your characters. Yeah, it is kind of a lot, but take into account that you want to be careful where you pick. Find some people you want to play with. If not, it's a social game. It's MMO, so go out and find people that you like playing with. Instead of just questing and doing everything by yourself, you're not gonna find friends that way. Well, maybe someone comes and saves your ass or something. Cheers, guys. Woo. All right. Okay, now they're talking about a phone application. Basically, this is called Orzia. This is basically, it'll show, I think it'll have a dressing room, basically, kind of, because the game does not have a dressing room in it. I really didn't think they talked about it in the producer letter, which I hope they'll implement later in the game. But if you guys are like wondering, it's a phone app. Let's say you are away from the computer, you want a little taste of Final Fantasy while you're away. You can click on your app, showing like all these different armors on your character or whatever, and then they'll basically give you a rundown where you can get this armor and what quest or whatever. They won't give you like strategies to pick it up, but I'll definitely give it a try, see how it works. The iOS one for Apples and iPads will be, I think, released on the same week as the release of the game. Unfortunately, us with people with Android phones have to wait a couple weeks for it. Go figure, right? Alright. Okay, so they're also talking about gear repair. In the last one, talking about how basically how damaged your gear was didn't matter, and it was all the same price. They will marginalize that, so the more damaged your gear is, the more it's going to cost. Simple, basic, common sense stuff. So you're not running in the dungeons with like 10% gear and it breaks because I'll just wait for my gear to go really low and then I'll repair it for the same amount. Now try to keep it up as much as you can so you're not spending too much on it. Over time, yes, you're kind of basically paying the same amount, but at this point, at least people will have more of an incentive to be prepared and have their gear repaired at this point. Alright, okay, now this is a big one. This is a kind of a peeve of mine, but I can understand why they did it. Will items and will they ever be able to transfer items and guild between characters between the same account? They are basically no, not this time, but they are working on it. Excuse me, guys. They are working on it. They are not implementing because they don't want gold farmers to abuse this a bit. The fact that you can just basically trade between characters and what have you. So you can have like one person who's farming for gold and just trade it out with a whole bunch of people who are going to advertise, hey, come to see me, and then distributing out the gold and what have you. I can see this is a problem, but yes, also there's backdraws to it. The fact that you can't switch out your items or gold with your other characters that you sign, but seeing how the fact that that one character can be everything in one character, for me, it probably won't see too much of a problem for me. I can see where it is a problem for a lot of people, Altaholics for example, but hopefully that every job class and every trade being in one character is hopefully good enough for them. This is cool. Oh wait, will it feature a barbershop? Yes, the game will feature a barbershop. It will not be in the launch of the game, but it will be in the first patch. They're hoping to launch it by the first patch. So you'll be able to change the hairstyle, the hair color, the eye color, face paint color, and beards or facials or sideburns. Oh yeah. Anything like that. So it's cool. Like a lot of people like that. Me personally, I do as well because I'm usually changing my hair. I changed my person's hairstyle like on World of Warcraft. I don't know how many times, but you know, it's nice that they put that in. Okay, we'll be able to get the new heat resist gear, basically the swimming suits in the game, basically what I showed you in the character creator. Yes, this is kind of cool though. It's that the Summer Festival will actually be available after the first week the game launches. So we're getting a holiday right after the launch of the game. Yeah, tweet you too. Right after the game launches. It's like, wow, that's kind of overwhelming, I guess. A lot of people's like, whoa, okay, the game just started a week ago and I'm already getting events for the summer vacation summer event. Yeah, you are. Go wild. And it's like while you're leveling, you can achieve these goals to get that cool swimsuit. Awesome. Alright, so now it goes on now for the in-game stuff. Now they're talking about what kind of bosses or mechanics are we waiting for. The Great Labyrinth of Bahamut and the Crystal Tower. The Great Labyrinth of Bahamut will be the last dungeon or the high-end dungeon for the first launch of the game, which is understandable. One raid for when the game first launches. What were you guys expecting? Like 5 different raids for the launch of the game? As long as it's solid, not buggy, and it's not too long or too easy, I could see it lasting for maybe the first patch, so maybe they'll throw in a couple more things. Plus you have Fate World bosses, you'll have the Crystal Tower. It'll be a 8-man group. They'll have a different boss variable, and they'll even put a mechanic to where your group has to split up into 2 teams of 4 and traverse the dungeon or the raid excuse me guys, the raid in those 2 different groups and help each other out. That's an awesome mechanic from what hopefully if I can imagine to what it be, like maybe like button puzzles, or this boss has to go down the same time as this guy, but you have to coordinate with each other because you guys are in different rooms and you don't know what's going on with each other. That would be awesome, or you know, just an interesting mechanic for, you know, the mix up the raid part, what have you. The Crystal Tower, on the other hand, is going under some changes to where it's a 24-man raid, but can be acquired through the Duty Finder. I'm not so keen on the idea, so because this is basically just Raid Finder. They put in WoW and kind of like emphasizes on you can basically play the whole game by yourself. You don't have to rely on the people to do anything. It's just hit the Raid Find button or Duty Finder button, go in, click, yeah, whatever. I'm not really paying attention. Yeah, easy boss, yay, cool. Alright, where's my gear? Alright, I'll see you loser later. Click, get out. It's kind of the mentality I think that the Raid Finder's kind of brought to World of Warcraft, and it's kind of saddening to see it come in Final Fantasy, but I can see why they're doing that. They're trying to get to a broader range of audiences and players. A lot of people might say, like, no, that's not how I experienced it at all. But, you know, that's basically pretty much that's it about how I experienced. I'm just looking forward to the mechanics of the boss fights and what have you. There's going to be one to where they share, you know, they're not newer mechanics that you've seen pretty much a lot of them in a lot of MMOs, but, you know, hopefully they'll be nice and creative with them. Alright, moving on. Guys, if you ever instance in the Phase 3, you know that you cannot send tell messages to friends while they're in an instance. They're not changing that. They said it's pretty much like a distraction for the player or someone who just can't basically spam and troll a person while they're in an instance. I never really had a problem with that, but I could see why they would do that. I don't want people sending tells to me while I'm doing a raid or an instance, because I need to put my focus and attention on the instance or raid. So it's in either or for me. I really could care less. I could feel like no, I want to know what's going outside my instance too. Yes, there's always both sides of the coin. Me, I really could care less. Alright. Moving on, with a good King Moogle Mog 7 fight being the game. This is basically one of the... It wasn't really a primal. It was a fight, and he got some cute, good-looking gear out of it. So if you want to like get those little knuckles with the little Moogle face on it, or the little koala hanging off your staff, hey, you can still obtain those items, and they're actually not that bad to have. Okay, now this is a cool one. They see like any chocobo, well, besides chocobos and the Magitech armor. Kudos to Final Fantasy VI. We'll be seeing any other kind of mounts. So Yosh basically just points at the screen, and you see a unicorn. What are these? Oh, are these Fists of Triumph? Excellent Triumph? I think they are. A lot of people are going like, what? I want or silly looking unicorn. And it's like, oh, it's Sparkle Ponies or whatever. It's like, you know what? Unicorn was in the prior games before that. It's they had I believe in Final Fantasy X there's Axion. I believe he was one of the first summons you could get. He was basically a crazy looking lightning unicorn. Actually, no, I think you got him later on. And then for Final Fantasy VI, he was an Esper that you could summon and basically learn a lot of cure spells, like higher end cure spells from him. But you know, it's good, happy to see him. You'll be able to get him through the Condry quest. So basically, you have a class that has an exclusive mount. I believe though, the mount, once you learn it through your Condry, you will be able to summon it throughout your other classes, so not really making it exclusive. If they had made it exclusive, I really wouldn't have cared much, because a lot of MMOs done that already. The Paladin, the Warlock, and I think the Death Knight had their own exclusive mount. I don't really care. I wasn't really a mountaholic. I think I still use my old horse mount. I really didn't care. It's just really cool to see the different variety, but I'm pretty sure every class will be able to use a unicorn mount. Alright, now there won't be restricted on how many times you need on loot. Guys, just have some common courtesy. If you're rolling the class, your main class, let's say you're going as a Conjurer, roll on a Conjurer and cast your gear. Don't roll need on the tank gear. If the tank already has it, he'll just say, oh, just roll greed and let everybody else roll greed. And then later on, yes, you could, oh, I got it, cool, I have a piece of armor that I can use when I'm leveling my gladiator. Guys, it's common courtesy. The game doesn't need to check this stuff for you. Come on now. You want them to hold your hand? Common courtesy, people. Alright. Okay, sorry, I got a little heated there. Alright, so they go back to the race stats here. Like I've been saying for my character creation, the stats are they're marginal. They don't really affect your character too much unless you're mid-max and you need those extra 3 points of intelligence, which won't even really probably even be that noticeable. Just play the race you want. Just go ahead and just play the race you want in the class, whatever. Alright, job-specific armor for companions will be implemented on the launch of the game. So, of course, once you get a certain level, you get your chocobo, and you get the skill to where he can be a companion and fight next to you. They will have the armors basically putting you on your chocobo and basically making it that class that you want to be a tank, healer, or DPSer. They'll be implemented at the start of the game. Okay, so they basically went on talking about the houses. They showed a bunch of furniture. Basically, it was all themed in different kind of, iconic Final Fantasy creatures, chocobos, marbros, cactar, the tomberries. I hated those things. I just never. Oh, I don't want to get near me. Instant kill, knife stab my ass. All right, so guys, if you're a legacy characters and you have a legacy white mage, you did not get the light dark armor. For people who don't know, dark light armor was basically a really good in-game tier armor set, but for some reason the white mage did not get it. For some reason, kind of weird to me. So white mages rejoice, you get your dark light armor. Alright, moving on. This was cool. The status of the marriage system, we'd like to implement it as soon as possible so you can invite a lot of people. Now I'm getting a idea that they're going to try to make it kind of like how Rift did it, to where your marriage will be an instant. So you can invite all the people you want. You go to wherever you're going to get married at, and there'll be instants for you to party it up, role play, get married. And I'm glad they brought it back. So because I picked up a wedding dress in Final Fantasy XI, even though I never got married in that game. I just liked how it looked. Plus, you get a little ring, and signifying your significant other. I'm pretty sure they'll put a lot of other mechanics, like being able to share a house, sharing funds, armor, or whatever. That'd be kind of cool, actually, being able to share armor, so you can give your spouse or your loved one some armor to help them out while you can level together because you're married. That'd be really cool. Something to look forward to. All right. Okay, the information on the new rare weapon appearance system. This is something they want to implement, so they don't want to do it right now because they feel that the weapon design that they have now is really cool and they want people to look at it. I agree. Their in-game weapon systems, their in-game weapons that they have in there look freaking awesome. So I really wouldn't transmod those later on. I could see later on down the road I'll get a little bit tired of them and maybe want to have the chance to transmog them. Now, they were talking about how they wanted to take some iconic weapons from other Final Fantasies, guys. So maybe if they introduce Great Sword later on for Marauders, or maybe Paladins could both wield them, you can turn it into a Buster Sword. Maybe. Or maybe you can turn it to that long massive Mune Sephiroth sword. Or maybe you can turn it to Wallace Gunblade. I'm just saying, seeing how they already have Gunblades in the game with the lightning pack that they're going to be putting in to where you can get her appearance and her little blade that turns into a gun later on, but I don't think it transforms or anything. I think it's just an aesthetic look. It's just something to look forward to for big Final Fantasy buffs who are looking forward to the game. Alright, additional primal battles, there will be implemented. Okay, so basically you have your primal battles, your normal ones where you will be introduced to the story, and then you can go into hard mode for each one to where you can get the primal weapons that will be introduced for every primal. Alright, okay, they will change. If you guys did the primal battles in 1.0, they will have slight changes to where it's like, oh, this is the same rigmarole I'm doing in RO. I know how to do this. Just guys, stay with me. I know how to do this. They'll have slight changes. So okay, here, dodge. Wait a minute, that's not okay. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Dead. So yeah, guys, still pay attention, even though you did it before in 1.0. Alright, they will put it. Hey, they're also talking about the Marlboro Fates. If you guys know what these are, like plant huge razor sharp looking monsters with a bunch of eyeballs in their head and the little squiggly diddlies on the bottom. Very iconic monster. He'll be a fate monster along with Behemoth, and Odin, basically. So that's nothing. That's another in-game monster to fight. Looking forward to that. I'm pretty sure they have smaller versions of marbles just kind of hanging around too. You know, these things are so iconic. All right, they talking about the Olda and the Grandia housing areas. They will show that, but for the beta, they only have it in Linz and Lominsa. All right, were there any more surprise announcements for launch? I'm pretty sure. He's like, I said quite a bit during this thing, so probably not. But I'm pretty sure he has something up his sleeve. Freaking Yoshi. Yoshi probably got something up his sleeve. Let's hope, at least. Alright, let's see. Free companies, housing, okay. Okay, the status of the treasure map idea. They are being able to play the content not very far away. They're planning on fleshing it out, so... fleshing out the system for a Beastman tribe related treasure map, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be the fish people. God, what? I'm sorry, guys. I forgot what their race was called, but they basically, they worship Leviathan as their god. But I could see them because basically what the treasure map system is, if you do fish, he did talk a lot about fishing too, actually. It was more of a, like, kind of an achievement, less so than gathering materials for your crafting. I could see where they have a little bit of implementation where they, like, you can catch fish, make sushi or whatever, fish soup. But it'll basically keep track of, like, how big your fish are, where you caught the fish, what kind of fish you got, and basically keep a log. Kind of like the combat monster log of, like, how many monsters you killed or where you found this monster, how many of you killed, give you a little bit of experience and achievement points. So basically, achievement whores, go nuts. That's basically all for you. Me, I'm going to be trying it out, but really I'm not too much an achievement person. But now that the fact that they've mentioned this, if you fish, if you're fishing, and for some reason you get like sorry about that, guys. If you get like a message in a bottle, you pull it out and you get this treasure map, cool, or a fish swallowed a treasure map, or you pull out, cool, hey, it'll show a general area, and an X marks the spot, and you have to go to that area and dig it up, and so you might get a cool, like, vanity item, or, you know, a marginal stat item, or just a bit, you know, something you can try and unlock for. That'd be kind of awesome, kind of like, archaeology, I think, for WoW, but, you know, you're fishing. Okay, sorry guys, I'm reading off the notes here. Oh, here's a cool little thing. Alright, will you be able to have your minions run loose in your house or set them up like furniture? We're thinking it would be possible, so we'll let the leads know. Basically, can you let your pets run around your house like a regular pet that you would have here at the house? You know, you have your cat, you know, it kind of, you know, walks around, you know. When I sees you, it's like, meh. Or your dog comes home, it's like, oh my god, master's home, or whatever. Maybe they'll set up like different kind of personalities. So they suggest that to them. So yeah, we'll let our designers know. So it'll be kind of cool just have your pets that you're not summoned just run around your house. Cool, that's a little cool idea. Okay. People who had joined the Grand Company in 1.0. Their old items that they had got through their Grand Company, like coats, hats, weapons, they'll be able to keep those items, but they won't be able to trade them in for for like points that you can get to. Because you can accumulate a currency that you can trade in for the Grand Company to basically get items that are decently stat items, are like tabards, not tabards, like hats, trench coats, what have you, and like little armors for your chocobo to let you represent, like little tabards for your chocobo that hang over the side of your saddles. So no, you can't trade them in, saying, oh, can I trade in my old stuff for new? No, we just let you keep that stuff, so it's kind of more like a feat of strength kind of like thing. You can never get it again, but just let people know that you have it. Alright, not bad. Alright. Okay, well, I heard that you can reallocate your attribution points. Will this be something you can do easily and multiple times? Okay, this is what I was talking about later. If you guys were like leveling your alchemist, your arcanist, sorry, to a scholar, and like you change your mind, like, oh, I want to be a summoner now. Can you reallocate your points so you can do more intelligence? All right, here we go. It won't be something you could do easily. For example, it's not like you'll be able to reallocate them. You can only like reallocate them a day. You can challenge the Great Labyrinth as a scholar, and tomorrow reallocate them as a summer. So basically, they didn't go into detail. They basically said, no, you just can't do this every day. You have to do something. I can see a lot of people getting mad about this. Me personally, I don't really care too much because of the fact that you can change your classes already. I could see where the split classes, implementing it for other classes, will have a problem. So let's say your Marauder can go into a war, and then they put in the expansion pack to where now it could be a Samurai, but the Samurai needs more dexterity to where it does need strength. So I could see where that become a problem, but I don't think to where it'll be just too much of a headache to do, but it won't be too easy. So live with the consequences of your class, but just only minorly so, not too much of a headache. Alright. Could you show us some? They go to the PvP footage. It was okay looking. I saw it. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Now they're talking about add-ons. The add-ons you will be able to make add-ons, but not at the launch. They're actually looking to do it to where you can update or basically implement add-ons about 8 months down the road. Now that's pretty far away. So if you're thinking about this, the AI UI just totally not working for you, you're gonna have to stick with it for about 8 months. But seeing how the UI is totally customizable, I don't really see people having a problem with this. Then the fact, when I sit on the fence about damage meters, I'll go on the side to where I really don't want them in the game. A lot of people want them in the game to see how badass they are and stuff like that, but for me, it's basically being able to single out people, pointing at that person, saying, "You're not doing the optimal spec. You're not playing the class how it should be played. Get out of the raid because you're not optimizing it to where we want you to play what we want you to be optimal wise, instead of just being able to play the character where you want. If you down the monster, you down it. If you don't, change up your strategy and have people, give them a little bit of advice. What are you doing here? But don't just basically saying, oh, he's doing this much amount of damage. Get him out of the raid. We don't want him here." That's something I really don't like. And you probably say, oh, you just probably because you were on that side. Yeah, I was on that side, but I was also on the other side to where I hit top damage meters. But then I became obsessed with it, and just, it's just like it wasn't fun anymore because it's like I was worried too much about my damage and actually enjoying the fight and learning the mechanics and what have you. But that's my opinion, guys. Like I said all the time, my opinion is not the right way. All right. And as he's pretty much ending it here. Okay. Oh, guys. When I sit back on my what do you get for your edition of Collector's 100, you get all this stuff, plus you get an additional 2 weeks of free gameplay. So if you're not rebuying the game, you get the additional 2 weeks of gameplay up until September the 9th. If you bought the game, you're still going to get your free month of gameplay. So if you didn't want to rebuy the game, wanted to wait till launch, didn't want to get to early access, you're still getting 3 weeks of getting to try out the new update to the game, basically. So, it's nice of them to do that, seeing how it was like, well, no, I wanted free 30 days. You got your free 30 days when the game came out. Yes, you got burned on it because the game wasn't that great, and heck, I think you got almost damn near a year of free gameplay, actually, because how the game was still working and they're fixing it. So, yeah, I'm at this point where I really could care less on that. People who are like, no, I want my 30 days. You guys are kind of hosed. Sorry. Alright. Alright, sorry guys. Alright, are there any plans on implementing an item that can use to change the appearance of a character? Before I answer that, let me tell you about a discussion that happened during one of our shareholder meetings. One of the shareholders asked me, are there any rewards for playing the game for a long period of time? So here we go. Alright, they basically talked about how there's a legacy system and a veteran system. So guys, check this out. Every 30 days you are subscribed to it, you get some free gifts, maybe 2 to 1 free gift. That's awesome. Who else was other subscription MMO just gives you free stuff? Besides, like, oh, thanks for playing for a year. Here's a pet. Thanks, I played this game for 3 years and you gave me a pet. I'm not naming any names, but I'm pretty sure you guys surmise who I'm talking about. So here's an example for subscribing for your first month. I'm pretty sure once your free 30-day subscription is over and you re-sign up for another 30 days, you're going to get this item. A wind-up cursor, so you got little Mickey Mouse white glove. You get it's a turnkey minion. Like I said, it's like, yeah, you're just talking about how you only get a pet for 1 year. This is only for 30 days, so thank you for giving me something each month for subscribing instead of just a whole 1 to 2 years before you even acknowledge the fact that I gave you all this damn money and all you give me is a stinking one pet for one pet. No, I'm not feeling crunchy about it. And on top of the little mini wind-up key, you get a file of Anastasia. This file lets you change your whole appearance of your character. There you go, answering the question already. Awesome. So there are ways to change your character completely. I'm not sure if it'll let you change your race or anything. They didn't get in the depth of that. I believe that or I missed it. And I'm pretty sure they'll have a cash shop basically letting you, okay, seeing how you do this world server transfers, and then you maybe do like a character appearance changing thing to your character. And after 60 days, they're talking about a uniform voucher, basically the black version of the swimsuit. A black little chocobo chick, the synonymous black chocobo, the 1 in 4, where the only one could fly, that flew you to the cave of the dark elf, where you could not wear metal armor or weapons, or it'd weigh you down. Or the black chocobo in Final Fantasy VII was the only way to get the summon the Knights of the Round, but in chick form. It'd be kind of cool if you could raise it up to be a bigger black chocobo. That'd be freaking awesome, and it'd be awesome if it could fly, like hover a little bit up above the air. You know, aesthetically wise, not like total full flying mount or whatever. And then after 90 days, you get a beady-eyed pet, and then a voice sent resonator, a Armani mount, and basically he's going on and on. Like, of course, rewards will keep being implemented about every month or so. That is freaking awesome. That is just great. All right, now guys, that's pretty much it. I'm glad you're joining me. Sorry this ran a little longer than it did. There's a lot of information to be covered. And I appreciate your time with me, guys. Please stay tuned for my other videos. I will be going into Arcanist, Summoner, and Scholar. They do have a more updated move list that I kind of want to vaguely go over with you guys, so stay tuned. And I appreciate you spending your time with me. So guys, raise your glasses. Please, if you guys enjoyed your time with me, like, subscribe, leave comments below, questions. I'll try to get them as soon as I can. And as always, cheers and game on. Whew. A lot of info. Some good, some bad. What is up, everyone? It's me again, Gamerlush, for another episode of Final Fantasy Impressions, Character Creation. Today, last time on the show, we had